Welcome to Glow and Grow Sessions. I'm your co-host Lynn, business owner and award-winning boudoir photographer specializing in women empowerment.
And I'm your co-host Kailyn, business owner, hair and makeup professional, and content creator.
We worked together for years in the studio, providing a safe space for women to be vulnerable, gain confidence, learn to love their bodies, and self-explore.
The women that had come to our studio all have a story that they have shared with us. Our intention for this podcast is to extend that safe space to share those stories. We'll explore topics like overcoming internal fears, nurturing self-worth, and embracing self-love.
We believe in the power of showing up for yourself, and we're here to guide you through that journey. Join us as we dive deep into empowering conversations to uplift and inspire you. Let's glow and grow together. Welcome back to the podcast, Glow and Grow Sessions. We are excited to have you guys here. I'm Lynn, and I have my friend Kailyn here with me. We've got a pretty good topic today that we want to discuss, and we're going to call it, or title it, Don't Be Mad at the Fit Girl. Kailyn, would you like to kind of start the dive into that and how we came up with that title for today's episode?
Sure. I'm already sweating. But all right, let's just get into it. Something sparked something yesterday, a thought in my head. We have an event coming up, a body positivity event that we're super excited about. Once a year, we try to host an event where we can have a lot of women come that represent different body types, shapes, colors, ages, things like that, and come together and kind of all express that our struggles are amongst all of us and we're not alone, and no matter what shape or size you are, we're all sort of facing that. And it's been a really awesome event. So we've been posting a lot of content catered to that. And in sharing that, we've posted a lot of photos from the previous events that we've done. And all of the women are different shapes and sizes. And then I posted my photo, and I got a totally different reaction than the other posts. A lot of the other posts were like, this would be so much fun, like, we should go. And then I posted mine, and it was, pointing out misspelling in the post. And also saying, like, if I had a body like yours, body positivity wouldn't be an issue. And it completely shut down any struggles that I may go through. Now, I am at a point where I just recognize that as more of that person's internal struggle than taking offense to it. But I did have people reach out to me and basically just ask if I was okay, because I think they could relate to my perspective, knowing that they had felt similarly, like they fit societal beauty standards, and they know how it feels to be kind of rejected from the body positivity movement because of the way that you look, because you fit those standards, I guess.
Quote unquote.
Yes.
Perfect body.
Yes. And how even when you're at that level, you might not be happy with yourself or totally healthy or, all of those things. So I thought we had been discussing it, and we said we need to stop right now and we need to start recording this because this is an important topic. And Lynn and I have worked through these things ourselves personally in our relationship. Yep. And so we thought we could really give people a broadened perspective of both Lynn's point of view and my point of view in our journey of self-acceptance, and how working side by side in that, how it's kind of worked, and how we can inspire other women to kind of let go of those biases. So with Don't Be Mad at the Fit Girl, we want to share that we all have struggles internally, whether it be full figure to fit figure. It's just the opposite end of the same issue.
Yes. Like what's nice about our relationship is let's call you the fit girl and I'm the plus size girl. Okay. I have the same thoughts, feelings about my body's not perfect enough. I'm like always feeling like I have to look a certain way because society tells us to, or just makes us feel like we need to, or you're not accepted. And so most people, when they think of body positivity, self-acceptance, like doing all that thing, they think of, oh, it's all the plus size girls. And they really do exclude the girls who have the quote unquote perfect body. But they are also struggling because every one of us has that internal voice that's criticizing everything about you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's deeper than it's the background of somebody's whole life, like Absolutely. You can't just judge somebody for the way that they look right now because you don't know their background. The fit girl that you're comparing yourself to could have been a plus size girl who busted her butt off to get to that point, or somebody who was anorexic and had no weight on them and literally went to the gym every single day lifting that 2-pound dumbbell until she got those biceps. And even though you're maybe looking at her and thinking, oh my gosh, I wish I looked like her, she might still be looking at herself going, oh, I'm not where I want to be. I want to be like that girl over there who's like really, I can see that she's put in a lot of work, and I wish that my work was showing at that point yet, but it's not, and I think it goes to show that no matter where you are, you're always going to be comparing yourself to somebody else. And I think it also feels, I've definitely been the girl in the gym who felt like I didn't know what I was doing. My husband is very athletic. He knows what to do in the gym. And I was kind of unsure. And I would feel uncomfortable going to the gym. And I would compare myself to the girls that were in there that were really fit. And I remember thinking, oh, they probably are looking at me going like, oh, she's doing that wrong, or she's, her form is bad, or all of those things. So I started working out at home. And I think I sort of stopped thinking of working out as a form of changing my body and rather taking care of my body to avoid the health issues that my family face. Heart disease, diabetes, all of those things. I see my family members dealing with it, and I'm like, how can I avoid that, And my mental health. Staying active is super great for your mental health. And it's been really helpful for me in that way. So seeing how having an active lifestyle has changed so much more for me than just my physical, it's changed the way that I look at fitness. And I think that's something that I didn't recognize in the fit girls that I would look at in the gym. A lot of times their perspective is like, you go girl, like you're showing up for yourself, like you're here, like they are silently cheering you on, like they would help you. They know that if you're showing up for yourself in that way, showing up at the gym, like you're bettering your mental health. Your body's going to feel better. You're not going to be so sore when you wake up in the morning. Like you start feeling like, you're going to benefit yourself in so many ways. And then when somebody tears you down for that hard work, you feel a little empty because you're looking at it as I'm doing this great thing for myself, and you're simpling it down to that. And sure, physique comes along with it, but it's not the focus. It shouldn't be the focus. Our bodies are constantly changing. And when I found that in my fitness journey, the more that I focused on my body, the more that I would plateau, the more that I would feel unhappy. You have to shift your focus from where is your physical state at to how can I take care of myself? How can I make myself feel good?
What this brings to mind for me is when you said, like, just because you're fit doesn't mean you're healthy. Health is more than just your physical body. It is your mental state. It is your relationship with food. It is your relationship with, other things like social media and things like that. All of those aspects make up your health. And we too often think about health as physical appearance, when the biggest part is your mental state. If your mental state is not right, the physical is not going to matter. Yeah. Because there are girls, like you brought up the anorexia, like I don't think that was something that you had. I never had that, but there are people out there who deal with it. I've seen movies based on that telling stories, and I never knew that that's what those people go through. It's like, it's serious. They could be super skinny and you think, oh, that's where everybody wants to be, but maybe they have a lot of childhood traumas they haven't dealt with, and they have a poor relationship with food, so they actually don't feed themselves at all. How would anybody think that's healthy? It's not.
Yeah, I know. It's funny how, some people, it's not funny, but I mean, it's ironic that some people can go into a super state of stress and depression and either gain a whole bunch of weight or drop a whole bunch of weight. Mm-hmm. And it could be from unhealthy eating, both on one side or the other. And I watched a video recently where somebody said that if you gain weight, very few people will point out that you're gaining weight. But if you lose weight, more people will point out that you've lost weight. And I think we need to stop focusing on the plus or minus on other people's bodies and be more in tune with our own and how we can show up for our own body instead of comparing and going, oh, I wish I looked like that, or it must be easy that her body is like that. It is not easy. I'm sweating my hiney off in my living. I do not want to work out some days. I just don't.
I think most of and I'm going to speak on behalf of the plus size girls, most of us, because I've had the same thought, feel or think that because you're fit, life in general must be easier for you. You must be really happy. You must get all the attention, just all the things that we're missing, or she's got it. And then we end up projecting, negative thoughts onto that person and judging them in a negative way because we see something that they have that we don't. Mm-hmm. And we do that a lot with other things in our lives. People who want money but they don't have it. Oh, rich people are assholes. Yeah. Which is not true.
Envy is a horrible.
That's really all it is envy. Yes. But if you stop putting in the energy into that and start putting the energy into yourself, comparing yourself from the old version to the new version, look how far I've come, is really what you should be thinking about. Yes. That's where you need to make the changes.
Yeah, I love that you're saying that. Like, the only person that you should be comparing yourself to is yourself. And I say this to my kids in baseball. I talk about track and field, and I tell them, like, they would say, Mommy, did you win the races? And I told them, like, that wasn't what it was about for me. It wasn't about winning that race. It wasn't about coming in first place for me. It was about doing better than I did the last time. Absolutely. It didn't matter how I did at that meet in regards to what place I took. It was that, did I practice hard enough? Did I train hard enough that I did a little bit better? I shaved off a couple seconds off my race this time. And I tell my sons, like, next you might say, like, today I didn't pitch that well, but I'm going to put in the work, and the next time I might be a little bit better. Be in competition with yourself. Don't be in competition with somebody else 100%. Or have an imaginary competition with somebody else. Don't pour into an imaginary competition with somebody else that competition is not there for themselves. Like, you're drowning yourself for what? When you could be pouring into yourself.
Right. Using that time, that energy, all those thoughts to produce more negative thoughts, that's all that you're doing. Mm-hmm. Why not turn that around and start working on the things that you do want to accomplish? If you see a girl that's, fit and you're like, oh, I wish I had a body like that, then work on that. Or even not just work on that. I don't want to feel so harsh about it, but learn to accept yourself.
Yes.
Self-acceptance is something that you have to have.
It's key.
Because there's the thought of, oh, when I reach this goal, then I will be happy. whatever that goal is, financial goal, physical goal, whatever. That's not how it works. You have to be the person who would have that. Start becoming that person first.
Yes.
I hope I'm explaining this right. Because I hear this stuff all the time when I'm doing my self-growth.
Where you are.
Right.
Celebrate
Accept where you are. Start, like if I want to be happy, but I'm not happy now, work on how can I feel happy. Mm-hmm. And then when you reach that perfect body or that financial goal, whatever it is, then you're going to be really happy that you got it. You don't get the feeling first, or I'm sorry, you don't accomplish it and then you get the feeling. You have to start working towards that feeling. Absolutely. In order to attract that into your life.
Yes. Yeah. I will say from my fitness journey, when I was not seeing results for a long time, and I was showing up and doing this work for myself, and there was a point that I reached, and I think I want to say this for some of the women that are like sitting here listening to this and they're like, well, I've tried working out and I show up for a while and then I fall off and, I can't stay motivated. I do want to just give like a little bit of advice, because I've definitely been there before. Like I said, I've worked out multiple times with my husband after having kids. There was a couple times we had gym memberships. The first time, we went to Planet Fitness, and then, we had more, like another baby. So we were like, if we want to go to the gym, we really need childcare. So that, it was kind of like what was holding me back. I didn't have childcare, so then I was like, okay, now we have a gym membership where we have childcare. And I started to go, but when I would go, there was no like real direction, and I would just fall off. Like I would go for 4 days and I would push really hard and feel uncomfortable and not really know what I'm doing and feel like other people were comparing themselves to me. And that was like the mindset that I was in at the gym. And then I sort of felt like my life was depending on me working out. That's the point that I got to, because I was losing weight. I wasn't able to eat anything because my stress and my anxiety level had gotten to a point where my depression was so bad I didn't want to move my body. And then because I wasn't moving my body, I had no appetite. And so I thought, okay, well, if I want to feed my body, if I want to have an appetite, I have to move it. So it was like literally a forcing. And then I started to see how it was helping me mentally, releasing those endorphins and getting rid of stress, that was what kept me going. It wasn't my body, because I had to accept that like I wasn't going to see it for a while. Yeah. I think you have to be understanding that you are not going to see it. It takes a while of work. It takes you just committing to yourself, committing to showing up for yourself every single day, and doing it little by little, and doing it with care and ease. I think starting out small, saying, I'm going to do a 20-minute workout 3 times a week. That's it. And then you build up, and then you get to a point where you're like, man, like I'm sitting here today and I'm like, I feel like I should do a workout today. And then you add it to 4. You will get there. Staying consistent, it will become easier. But you have to accept where you are, because change comes slowly. It comes slowly, and there's never an end point.
And we like what is comfortable and familiar. So if making big changes in your life is out of your comfort zone, you have to go slow with it, because you're easily going to revert back to what is familiar and comfortable. Yeah. That is what I have been experiencing. And I can't tell you how many times I've, tried to work out, try to diet, and if I find when I try to go full on, like, oh, I'm going to go 4 days a week, hit hard, or I don't do it, because it's too much,
too rigorous
to try to add into my routine. So the past few days, I have been walking 1 mile a day, and I'm like, I'm just going to start with that. Yeah. And if I try to say, okay, I'm going to do 3 miles a day, I'm probably not going to do it. Mm-hmm. I'll go right back to old habits. And you have to start small. With whatever your goals are, you have to start small, because breaking habits Takes a long time to do. It's a lot of work.
It is.
And it's a lot of mental work too. What's the reason that you're doing it? Is the biggest motivator. If you're doing it because you feel like I have to look good so society accepts me, I have to look good because, I want to feel like these other girls so people like me, whatever the reason is, because those are reasons that I have felt in the past. And those reasons did not get me where I wanted to be.
Yeah. And understand that those go away, come back, go away, come back, go away, come back. I see it all the time in myself where I'll be like, I'm doing awesome right now. I'm killing it. And then the next week I'm, how come I'm not getting stronger? How come I still can't do 5 regular I get upset about those things. And I'm like, wow, I can literally do 5 full push-ups. I know that probably sounds weak, but there was a point where I only could do the assisted ones on my knees, that type of push-up. And it's like, now I can do 10 solid push-ups, regular push-ups in a row. Wow. And it's like, it feels silly a little bit that that's a goal, but it's like, there was a point that I couldn't do that. And is this the end? Is this the end for me? I've reached 10 and now I'm done? No. There's always room for improvement, but am I happy that I am here where I am now? Heck yes. Yes, we need to celebrate where we are and understand that we can always improve. And there are times that we will fall backwards. There's times where I fall off. I don't, work out all of the days that I should have worked out. But I think realizing that you have to be flexible in life and it's not always going to look the same. And, there are going to be breaks where you fall off of working out, but you can't just give up every time that happens. Just say, okay, I fell off for a couple days. Today, I'm going to show up for myself again. Get right back into that habit. Because if you start to just go, if you just drop the ball because you're like, oh, well, I missed it for a couple days, so I'm just going to walk away now. You're giving up on yourself. You're giving up on reaching that next goal or getting to a healthier point or having less back pain. Because I will tell you, one of the best things about helping my body and getting my body stronger is that I have less sciatic pain. I have less hip pain. I mean, I've seen such an improvement because of the stability in my hips, the flexibility in my hips and in my back. You will physically feel the improvements before you see them, and that's what's going to motivate you.
That's true. I wanted to touch base on a few things you said. You said celebrate the wins, and you mean the small wins, the small goal of I'm going to do 5 push-ups. Okay, I did it. Yay, let's move that to 10. Celebrate all the small wins. Don't focus too much on, I haven't worked out for a few days, or I haven't, walked for a few days. So, I missed a meal. I cheated for a couple days. So I'll, just binge eat and then go back next week. Totally guilty. I've done that. I've done all of this that I'm saying. This is all from my point of view, by the way. Don't hyper focus on what you didn't do. Look and focus on what you did do. Last week, I ate 3 healthy meals and walked 5 miles for the whole week. This week, I've only done 1. That's okay. You still did 1. But look what you did last week. Yeah. It's not going to come
up this week.
Yeah, it's not going to be one missed meal where one shitty meal is going to ruin your entire diet. You're going to gain all your weight back. Just like one healthy meal is not going to make you lose it.
Yeah. And just like one day of working out isn't going to miraculously change your life. It's continually staying consistent for yourself, showing up for yourself, however that could be. And if it's not, if you're not at the point where it's like, I'm not ready to do all the working out stuff. If it's, I'm doing this thing where every time I go to the baseball field, I'm going to the concession stand and getting a pack of M&Ms every single time. And you're like, you start small and you decide, I'm going to stop buying that pack of M&Ms because I know it's unnecessary junk that I'm feeding into my body and it's not really doing me anything. So I'm going to skip that. Making those small choices for yourself is going to make you feel better, and it's going to make you want to make more, because you're going to start to feel like, I'm taking care of myself. You know, you're just like you take care of somebody else, you have to take care of yourself.
Absolutely. And I wanted to say that I hope what anybody who's listening right now takes from this is it's not just about the action things we're talking about, as far as like working out, doing this, fixing your diet. This whole episode was really meant to kind of focus around the mentality of these things too.
Yes.
Like, that's the biggest part. Mm-hmm. And don't expect to just one day you're going to wake up and feel happy in your own skin and love everything about you, you know, cellulite and all. That's not going to happen. That's not what we're saying. We're saying, again, even with the mental stuff, take small steps. Mm-hmm. Make small changes. You're trying to reprogram yourself. That's not going to happen overnight. Yeah. Start by not comparing yourself to other women.
Yeah, because that person is further on their walk on that path than you are.
Or maybe they're not at all.
Yeah.
They could be fit and completely unhealthy, unhappy with their lives.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you have no idea.
Yeah, there's a lot of fit people that restrict and pump stuff into their bodies that is not healthy and live on caffeine and water, and you know it doesn't prove that you have a healthy body or a healthy, happy mind. Right. There are a lot of bodybuilders that are not okay.
That's a whole nother topic. Bodybuilders is, in my opinion, it's another form of eating disorders, you know, except, what do you say when you're hyperfixed?
Yeah, it's body dysmorphia.
It basically is.
A lot of them do have body dysmorphia.
That's why they're changing it, and it doesn't, I mean, okay, it might look good to some people, but it's not healthy.
Yeah, and you're pushing your body to extremes.
Right. So overall, you should strive to be the best version of yourself, no matter what that looks like, and take small steps. We are here if you want somebody to talk to. I'm taking small steps in my life. Kailyn's doing the work that she can. And also, I was going to say, growth is not linear. It's a spiral. Mm-hmm. Anything that you're doing, it's going to be good, and then it's going to be bad, and then it's going to be good, and it's going to be bad. I work with horses. It's the same thing when training horses. Mm-hmm. We can do the same training for 4 days, and day 3, it's just all terribly wrong. She acts like, you know, I didn't teach her a damn thing. It's basically like raising children. Yes. But that's the point. Like, it's going to be ups and downs. That's what growth is. Mm-hmm. It's a spiral.
Yeah, and we're never alone. And we have a great community, and we're very blessed to have this community. And we hope that, you know, if this resonates with you, you share your story with us. And or with somebody else, so that they could gain a different perspective and a deeper understanding of their own struggles and other people's struggles.
Yeah, absolutely. If you resonate with what Kailyn said on her perspective, reach out to her. If you are, you know, same as me and have compared yourself to girls like Kailyn in the past, reach out to me. I'm happy to talk about these things. She is too. Like, this is the whole point of the podcast, is to create a place for women to share stories, to reach out if you want to, if you need help, or and you're too scared to go to somebody you know, send us messages, text, whatever. Like, you can find our information anywhere pretty much.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram too.
That's the best place.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give your handle for Instagram.
Yeah, so my handle for Instagram is @greengoddessk, and that is KAI.
And then mine is Lynn DEE Photo.
I messed up. It's @greengoddesskay. I think KAI wasn't available, so it's KAY. Well, now that I messed up, they won't forget. Yeah.
All right. Well, we are going to wrap things up. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope this helped someone. If it did, please reach out and let us know.
Give us a like.
A review. The podcast does have an Instagram page of its own. It's glow.grow.podcast. You can find us on Instagram. I think we both have it in our other ones as well in the links. Until next time.
Thanks.
We encourage you to take what resonated with you from today's episode and carry it forward. And if you believe in our mission and the impact we're striving to make, please subscribe and leave a review today.